game at Upton Park yesterday. West Ham against Ipswich, two sides desperate for every point they can get. Particularly West Ham, only 3 off the bottom of the table, so there'll be a lot of tension on the field today. The pitch after so much rain will be a heavy one, so it may be something of a gamble for West Ham to play a lightweight player like 17-year-old number 7 John Eris in conditions like these. They'll bank a lot, of course, on Moore and on Hurst and on their new signing from Newcastle, Brian Robson, bought by West Ham to give Hurst more support up front. Ipswich, meanwhile, a very raw young side, particularly in defence, but with enough experience forward to make them a dangerous combination. And amongst their forwards, they have on his day the most dangerous and certainly the speediest winger in the game, Jimmy Robertson, formerly at Arsenal and Spurs. And at the very back of their defence, Ipswich have a 19-year-old goalkeeper, Laurie Civil, at 5'8", the smallest goalkeeper currently in the First Division. At Upton Park for this game, the referee is Bob Matthewson, a former professional with Bolton Wanderers. Now the crowd are waiting in the sunshine for the kick-off.
So Ipswich then in yellow shirts, defending the goal to our right, get us away. Vital match at the foot of the table, particularly for West Ham, only 3 off the bottom. As their manager Ron Greenwood said, we can't afford to survive on the mistakes of others in trouble. We've got to go out and do something ourselves. And I suppose West Ham at this moment must fancy their chances against a side who themselves have seen troubles this season and now still just these 6 places off the bottom. Pitch is obviously going to cut up. It's going to be very heavy indeed. Been a lot of rain in the last 48 hours. Ipswich, something of a bogey side for West Ham. West Ham have won only 1 of their last 11 matches against them. And Ipswich, in fact, have not lost in 5 visits since they returned to the First Division at Upton Park. Here's Laurie Civil, the smallest goalkeeper in the First Division, at 5'8" and only 19 years old, but he's had a tremendous season for them. Tommy Taylor. Tremendous kick there by Ferguson. It's got Jefferson trying to get underneath it, and Greaves prepared to harass him all the way. Oh, and away goes Greaves now. Hurst in the middle for him. Too high, and Harris gamely trying to get him with a header. A fraction too high for Hurst and for Harris, but a good little break by Greaves. Bobby Moore finding Hurst. Ball already beginning to die a little bit in the middle of that field on that heavy mud. Lampard. That didn't go anywhere near Greaves. Quite easily cut out by Peter Morris for Ipswich. Didn't give Robson too much of a chance there, but Morris will get another chance himself. Looking across that towards Clark. Off the top of Taylor's head, and Hill on the far side. My goodness, that was a let-off for West Ham. That really was a let-off from Mick Hill. He took it well on the volley from a very sharp angle. That could so easily have hit that far post and bounced back in. Hammond to Jefferson. Boyce putting it into a space there for Greaves. Down he goes from that tackle by Bell, but a fair tackle, says the referee, and a corner to West Ham. Greaves obviously felt it though. Clive Woods, the number 8. Robson, the number 10. Woods right back there to watch Greaves. And it's going to be Eris on that far side with the corner. Floating it as Hurst goes in, but in fact it was Jefferson who got it away. Oh, against the bar! Greaves, there it is! Against the bar by Boyce, and Greaves to finish it off with 14 minutes gone. West Ham ahead. Boyce, who hammered that one against the bar, and West Ham must have felt that the bad luck was still against them until Greaves typically slipped in to make sure. Greaves, in fact, needing a bit of treatment on the far side, as you can see. Off the field, and West Ham at the moment with 10 men. Getting some treatment there from Rob Jenkins. Well, that was the start West Ham wanted. Moore. Really was a fine shot by Boyce, though, had all the power and direction. Playing well so far, Ron Boyce, for West Ham. Moore. Bonds to Aris. Bonds had gone on for it, and my goodness, Collard hesitated to give Bonds his chance. Billy Bonds with a throw now for West Ham. Hurst, Bell at his back. Very nearly got there across, he's going across very well. Oh, a beautiful turn there by Hurst, and Robson to turn it back. Robson getting it back, Hurst going in, but beaten away by Bell. Hurst and Greaves finishing in a bundle. Now Lampard. Across the game looks for Hurst, and Hurst being very closely watched by Jefferson, who came very quickly into that recovery. Lampard. Ball one to Test Civil! And Hurst, oh, he might have toe-ended that one in, and it was Bell who finally got it away. I'm not at all sure that a sharper Jeff Hurst wouldn't have prodded that one in, but here Ipswich coming away now with Collard and Taylor. Civil almost gave that one up as lost, and the Ipswich defence covered him very quickly indeed to stop Hurst putting West Ham 2 into the lead. Now Bonds. That was a good ball there by Bonds, and Hurst getting up as high as ever. Greaves coming in hard. And a throw to West Ham. Bonds made a good run for Greaves. But now Woods to bring it away. To look for Morris. Boyce was in very quickly, and Aris now to pick it up. And Bonds, oh, against the post! That is 3 times now West Ham have hit the post, and they've scored from only one of them. Woods now. Moore backing off him. Collard with a shot. And West Ham, I suppose, with the rub of the green going their way, would have been 3 ahead by now. With the rub of the green going against them, they're only 1 ahead. 23 minutes gone. Taylor. Clark. Taylor slipped for just a moment, and Taylor then snapping away at Clark's feet. Having quite a physical battle this afternoon, these two, Tommy Taylor and Frank Clark. Woods and Lampard. And Robertson with this free kick for Ipswich. And Hill going in! What a save by Ferguson! A truly international save there by Bobby Ferguson. It was so reminiscent of that save a couple of weeks ago by Gordon Banks that kept Stoke in the cup against Hull. Diving when it seemed to be almost past him and over the line. Really great work by Bobby Ferguson. Mills. Morris beating off the challenge of Robson and finding Woods, but Woods can't beat away Bobby Moore. Robson down and looks as though he's taken a knock. Aris to Bonds. Trying to turn that in again, but Morris to get it away. Now Bonds with a little more time to get it across. Greaves on the far side there. And it's Lampard coming in fast, but he's got Robson with him. And now he's got Bell to contend with, who went hammering in after that ball had gone. He really is a raw young centre-half, this boy. Bobby Bell, only 19. And Clark being told in no uncertain terms by the referee to get 10 yards from the ball. Moore, who's going to float that free kick. But floating it a little too high for anybody. But a throw to West Ham. Billy Bonds. Crossing it once more to look for Hurst. Hurst to turn it down. Robson went in hard on it. And Robertson and Lampard going in equally hard also. Mills. Mills, who's been a bit of a jinx for West Ham. He scored winning goals against them in the last 2 seasons. The number 3, the number 4, Morris. That looks like a free kick given against Lampard on Robertson. Moore to get that one away, not as he would have wanted to. But Lampard just stops it from being a corner and then very coolly gets it away. But I must say, men are diving in left, right and centre very late. Is Robertson going to be booked now? That seems to be the indication. Well, I would have thought there have been tackles today that have been worse than that. But Bob Matthewson is down there and he feels that Jimmy Robertson's name must go in the book for that late tackle on Lampard. Aris. Cool piece of skill there by Aris. He hasn't had much change out of Mick Mills, but it's good the way he tries to take him on all the time. Hurst now for Robson. Oh, and he very nearly got through it a second ago, but the whistle had gone for a foul by Ipswich, and so it's a free kick to West Ham. They are surrounding Bob Matthewson and saying surely that was inside the area. Matthewson equally adamant that it wasn't. And so a free kick to West Ham. It couldn't be more central. And a moment of high danger then for Ipswich Town. There's their wall. Moore and Bonds and Greaves and Boyce are close at hand as well. Moore chipping it through, trying a little banana one that it was a shade too high. Back they come to defensive positions. And Civil, who's been under a lot of pressure with the kick. Bell. Moore off the top of his head. My goodness, and very nearly into the path of Robertson too. Hurst. Beaten off Jefferson. And he's tricked Morris as well. And a beautiful pass there to Greaves. That's going to be a little too hard, I think. No, my goodness, there wasn't too much in it as Mills had to put it behind. As Hurst came in on that far post. So the corner to West Ham. John Aris with it. Bonds getting up with a header and headed off the line by Mills. Aris to turn it back again. And this time a corner. Corner coming off. Number 5, Bobby Bell. Tremendous header there by Billy Bonds. It almost got through. Greaves with this corner. Not a very good one. Straight to Woods. Boyce to Moore, planting it straight back there for McDowell. Bell. Oh, next looks almost there, just over the bar from Bonds. So close, that looked for a long time as though it was going to get just in under the crossbar. He took it first time beautifully. Moore. Ball for Hurst. Off Hammond, in fact. Mills to get it away, but only as far as Bonds. On that occasion, it might have been better for him to have passed to Aris on the right. Taylor getting up beautifully above Frank Clark. Robertson is off in chase, but Ferguson is there. And there goes the whistle for the end of the first half, in which West Ham have hit the post 4 times, had one headed off the line, but they are this 1 goal ahead, scored by Jimmy Greaves. Going in the tunnel now, Jimmy Greaves, their number 11, who slipped it in after Boyce had hammered one against the crossbar. Still to come on the big match this afternoon, highlights from Leeds against Crystal Palace, Stoke City against Manchester United, and the half-time score here at Upton Park is West Ham United 1, Ipswich 0. We should be back with you in just a couple of minutes. So West Ham get us away at the start of the second half. They've won only one home game since October. That was against Nottingham Forest last month. Yet I suppose, in all fairness, and Ipswich might well agree, that if the luck had gone their way, they might have made this one already comparatively safe, having hit the post so often in that first half. But as it is just this 1 goal lead, scored, of course, by Jimmy Greaves after 14 minutes. And now it's Greaves again, poking it through Bonds. A great break by Bonds. Civil coming out very well indeed. Good goalkeeping by the youngster from Bonds, who's had a tremendous game for West Ham. Woods trying to tempt more into a tackle. Waiting for Morris. Tremendous midfield work of this Peter Morris. And now Taylor. Bell going in again on Hurst, but the referee saying that was fair. Oh, Bonds cutting that one out beautifully. Hurst up with him, and so is Robson, fighting to keep possession of that ball, and surely Hurst was doing a bit of obstruction of his own there on Hammond, but Robson turning it in as Bonds goes in, and Civil really at full stretch to keep that one away. Really on occasions like that where Civil's lack of inches do rather tend to tell against him. He does special weight training exercises, springing exercises, so that he can get up, and Robson curling that one in very well indeed. Aris with the corner for West Ham, and Civil stretching for that one and getting it without too many problems. Now Morris. Clark versus Taylor. And Taylor again using Clark's shoulders as a lever to get an inch or two higher. And a free kick to Ipswich. Taylor hasn't lost very much in the air, certainly to Clark this afternoon. Once or twice he's been pulled up for this, though. Now brings a potential danger point for West Ham as Morris takes this free kick for Ipswich. But in fact it's Taylor who gets West Ham out of trouble and Aris who finds McDowell. Jefferson. And now Clark, only more facing him, turns it inside there for Robertson. Can he turn on this one and get a shot? And he looks for Woods. And Woods keeping that in. Must have been obstruction by Boyce. Flagged by the linesman. Confirmed by the referee with his arm aloft, indicating, of course, an indirect free kick for obstruction. And Robertson with it. Little curler there, and a header and a goal by the number 5, by Bell, to make it 1-1. The man who's been booed for a fair part of the afternoon for some of his tackling on the likes of Hurst, and now he's done it for Ipswich. Made it 1-1 with that header superbly taken. So 14 minutes of the first half when West Ham went ahead, 14 minutes of the second half when Ipswich have drawn level. Tommy Taylor, I know, is calling for more effort from these West Ham players now. And it's the number 4, Bonds, putting that one into touch. Robertson. And now Hill. And a throw then to West Ham. So Bonds with a throw. Greaves now for West Ham. Oh, and Robson's made a good break, but Civil spotted it. Tremendously quick off his line is Laurie Civil. Taylor. That's fallen for Morris. Ipswich, if anything, now beginning to get the upper hand. There's a good-looking ball there from Morris to Robertson. He can take on McDowell. And a goal! What a great goal by Robertson! That really did put West Ham back on their heels. A really marvellous ball by Morris to Robertson, jinking inside the fullback and really hammering that with his right foot to put Ipswich, having been behind at half-time, now into the lead. Well, what an improbable scoreline that is now. Robertson, a magnificent goal that for him. With West Ham having nothing going for them as they hit the post time and time again in the first half, when they could have been 2, 3, perhaps even 4 up. Instead of that, they were 1 up, and now they're a goal down. Hurst, they've really got to pull something out now, West Ham, as Ipswich bring it away again. Pollard. And again, Robertson, that dangerous man on the left for Ipswich. Turning it in, and Taylor coolly there to Bonds. Bonds over an opponent's head to Boyce. Now Aris. Doing well there, Aris. Robson trying to get in, but it's a corner off Jefferson. Just seemed to be in a bit of pain. As I say, he was doubtful yesterday with a shoulder injury. He's taken another knock on it today. Brian Robson. Aris with a corner for West Ham. Just halfway through the second half now. Hurst leaping for it. Taylor trying to get a foot in. And a ricochet, in fact, off a West Ham player finally. And the goal kick going to Ipswich. And that ball wasn't outside that penalty area either from the goal kick. It needs a captain's inspiration now for West Ham. Clark to Morris. And a long one forward by Jefferson, and Clark going after this one. Ferguson fielding it. Bobby Moore. Greaves. Robson under this one for Greaves. A little cross by him which didn't begin to come off. Wasn't nearly high enough for Robson or for Hurst, who was storming in very quickly for West Ham. Not the usual accuracy of Jimmy Greaves, but a corner now for West Ham, and Greaves with it. Bonds up there. Aris in the 6-yard area. Hurst and Robson too are there. And it'll come out for Bobby Moore. Over the top. Moore, who once or twice this season has really smashed those balls that have fallen loose outside the area, and Clyde Best is on for West Ham, the substitute, and Brian Robson is going off. Robson, who's had this shoulder trouble, disappointing for him, and Clyde Best, who scored twice incidentally against Ipswich reserves last week, comes on as substitute for West Ham. And now Clark trying to get Robertson away, McDowell going in again and finally getting in there. But Pollard setting it up once more for Jimmy Robertson. Taylor there. Taylor once more. And that must have been a foul by Robertson on Taylor as he tried the drag back. Jefferson doing well there. Aris, quick to seize on it. And the throw to West Ham. Pollard in a bit of trouble. Jefferson. Bonds. And now Lampard. Hurst trying to rise it above everybody else again, and gets Best, who toe-ends it now for Aris. Turn back again, now can Hurst get up? Down he goes, Greaves, side putting it in! Jimmy Greaves gets the credit, and West Ham are level again. So Greaves gets the credit for that one, his second goal of the game, and West Ham come back into it with 16 minutes to go. So 2-2 we stand. A match that really has swayed one way and the other now this afternoon. West Ham in front and then behind, and now level again. And Moore getting in quickly. Greaves now. Cross that has no chance of reaching Hurst. Mills indecisively there for Ipswich Town. McDowell. Best. A back flick there for Hurst. Still taking some punishment, Hurst, but he's got the strength to go with it. Greaves now trying to turn on that one for his hat-trick. Morris down and injured, now getting up. Pendulum, it seems, if anything, swinging again, slightly towards Ipswich. Clive Woods, number 8. Finding Clark, inside again for Woods. Oh, and taking it on now. Can Hill get to this one before Taylor? Taylor forced to give away the corner. And so it's a corner then. A corner to Ipswich, and Jimmy Robertson with it. So Ipswich keeping up this pressure now on West Ham United. Another dangerous looking cross for them as men leap again. Clark looking to go in and Best to clear it away for West Ham. Hammond stretching more than he wanted to, and Morris to turn it in, and Ferguson slow to come. My goodness, that could have been a disastrous mistake. He really was a bit slow there. There seemed to be a total lack of understanding in that West Ham defence, and West Ham getting away with it, Ferguson having been fouled. The rhythm for the moment seems to have gone out of West Ham. It looked so effective and efficient in the first half, and again, and when they were looking for that equaliser, but it's gone for the moment. Boyce finding Lampard. Best. Has he got the speed to get past Hammond? And the free kick given against Hammond on Clyde Best. To all intents and purposes a corner, of course. It's no more than a couple of 3 yards outside that corner quadrant. Best going back into a position where he might be useful with his head. Bobby Moore to take it. Floating in again under Sybil's crossbar and just over the top. A corner then to West Ham on the far side. Ipswich pleading with the referee, claiming that in fact it didn't come off Sybil. And Hill to get it away as far as Boyce. Boyce chipping it in again. Greaves, can this be the hat-trick? Greaves again! No! Oh, he took a little too long over it. And it was bundled away. Ipswich claiming that Greaves was offside. He most certainly was not. And a chance there for West Ham. Bobby Moore taking that corner from outside the quadrant, which is illegal. And headed off the line once more. That time by Morris. The number 4 by that post, blowing out his cheeks in relief, and Bobby Moore taking another corner. Again floating it in and over. Once again put there by an Ipswich player. So yet another West Ham corner. An incredible series of events here. The crowd now getting behind West Ham, and at last the referee in fact was seeing that the ball should be inside the quadrant. Again Moore floating it, and again Sybil getting it away. Moore closing in rapidly though, firing it across that goal. Best. And Greaves in two. McDowell first time into the middle. Hurst trying to turn it off for Bonds, and Ipswich relieved to get that one away too. McDowell with the throw. And the whistle has gone, and in fact after all that it's a 2-2 draw. Jimmy Greaves, the number 11, having scored both the West Ham goals, and Ipswich having scored the first one here by Bobby Bell and the second one by the number 7 Jimmy Robertson. So a really thrilling and entertaining game at Upton Park, with the final score here at Upton Park: West Ham United 2, Ipswich